All right, everyone. It's Monday, January 27th, 2005. Welcome to the He Said, She Said Sports Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Big Red, along with my lovely co host, Toni. Toni, how are you doing? How are you feeling today?
Feeling all right. Not too thrilled with the outcome of yesterday, but we live,
Yeah, yeah.
press on.
Nah, I feel you. We're about to get into it. The NFL, AFC, NFC championship games. You had the Philadelphia Eagles against the Washington Commanders in the first game, and then NFC championship game. The Eagles won that game 55-23. Um, what's your outtake on the game and how it went, and your opinion on the game?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely let you dive a little bit further into the Eagles stuff since you are our resident Eagles fan. But the one thing that I am going to take away from this Commanders team this season, I'll start there, is that Jaden Daniels is a problem. And he's going
Yes.
to be a problem for years to come.
Yeah,
He
he
is
definitely,
still the best rookie quarterback I have ever seen in this league. He's incredible.
definitely. No,
And
definitely. He's
I don't think yesterday takes away from that.
no, it doesn't. I mean, he did something no other, only a few other rookies have done by making it that far. I don't think any rookies have ever made it to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, he definitely had a great year. He threw over 4,000 yards, threw rushed for over 1,000. His stats were there, the numbers were there. He led his team uh, real far, to that NFC Championship game. So, no, definitely, the Commanders have a bright future. They definitely need to get a few more pieces together, I think, on the defensive side of the ball. They picked up Marshawn Lattimore mid-season, which I think will help them as well in the defensive backfield. But no, they definitely got a bright future for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
What did you think of the guy that went sailing over the entire
oh yeah, the
offensive and
linebacker.
defensive line
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they
yeah,
were when the Eagles were trying to do the tush push?
yeah. No, yeah, no. I can't remember his name. Number four, though. Yeah, it was a linebacker. I mean, I give him an A for effort. He was definitely trying to figure out a way to stop that tush push, but after like at one time, after like two times, it was just like,
He
come on,
did
man.
it twice. I thought they were showing us a replay. It was
Yeah,
happening
yeah, it happened literally again. I mean, he's a young, great player for the Commanders too. I can't remember his name, but no, he definitely was trying. It was crazy. It was just like Jalen Hurts was just watching it. As soon as he would jump, he would just back up and let him fall on the ground. They
again.
would get
Yeah.
the penalty.
Well, the
But no,
officials said that after enough of those that they could award a score, which was
war to score. Yeah, which is
interesting. Yeah, I've
crazy.
never really seen that,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's
yeah, that
crazy.
was
I
interesting.
didn't know that was in the rule book for sure. That after enough times they'll just give them a touchdown. That's cool.
They kept going half a distance to the goal line, half a distance to the goal line, and
Yeah, like how far half can
eventually
you go?
you can't go halfsies anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Jalen Hurts impressed me. I mean, what was it, about 250 passing yards? So finally got the
Hmm.
ball in the air. AJ Brown must have been reading books on how to catch passes on the sideline because he was the big target of the day. But honestly, for me, still, even with all of that, it's Saquon Barkley, the heart and soul of this team. He put, I think, a stamp on the game in the first couple of minutes on the very first play that he was out there.
Yeah, first play from
Literally play
scrimmage.
one, drive one for the Eagles, 66 yards to the house. I mean, he he
Yeah.
is he is creating a dynamic offense for that team that even if Jalen Hurts continues to throw the way that he did in that game, it's still going to be a reliance on Saquon Barkley and the rush.
No, definitely. I don't. Yeah, like Jalen Hurts. He's not making the turnovers. He's not causing the bad plays. He's just basically doing what he has to do. He's just going as far as like the nature of the game. He's taking whatever the defenses are giving him. I mean, he's playing efficient. Obviously, yeah, Saquon is going to be the main factor. But I think that starts with the O line as well. They have one of the best O lines in the league. Cam Jurgens, the center, is playing great, replacing Jason Kelsey, a future Hall of Famer. But I think the 4 turnovers hurt the Commanders in that game. Obviously, the fumbles on the kickoffs, on the run plays. But Saquon definitely, you could tell he was hungry for the Super Bowl for sure because he was out there pass blocking. He was blocking for Jalen Hurts on touchdown runs. Like he was giving it all out there. And the defense, like I said, they played well. Quinyon Mitchell played well, the rookie corner.
Hmm.
So, no, it was a great team effort for sure. The big runs by Saquon, he keeps getting those. I think the Eagles will be hard to stop um, for sure. So, but congratulations to the Eagles moving on. Commanders had a great season. I don't take nothing away from them. They got a lot more growing to do. Obviously, they got their piece at quarterback, so they got Scary Terry out there. He played well.
Gosh.
He had a touchdown,
I wish
but
Terry and Zach Ertz had 10 more years in them. I do,
yeah,
because the
Hurts,
three of
yeah.
them are such a threat together. Those two and Daniels. I wish
Hmm.
they both had 10 more years, but we're gonna take
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
can get. They're a great little trio.
No, definitely, definitely for sure. Um, let's talk about the other game, the AFC Championship. The Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs ended up winning that one 32-29 in a close one. This game was a roller coaster for sure. How do you feel about it? What's your take?
Oh gosh. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna say first and foremost, the Bills did not do enough to win that game. They
I
did
agree.
not do enough to win that game.
I agree.
Failed to convert on the two-point attempt conversion attempts, which I don't think they should have attempted to begin with. I think they should have kicked those field goals.
Hmm.
Josh Allen, the entire first quarter looked shaky, looked like they had his number. He went back to gunslinger mode a couple of times. He should have probably had 2 interceptions on that opening drive. And there was a couple balls that I think Dalton Kincaid could have caught that would have changed the momentum of that game. There was one play that I'm remembering in particular where they put the blitz on Josh and it kind of had him, he rushed the throw a little bit,
Yeah.
but I couldn't
Uh-huh.
believe that he made a throw to anywhere in the vicinity of an eligible receiver. It was crazy. And it
Yeah.
really went right through Kincaid's hands. And
Yeah. On fourth
I know
down.
it was a surprise. It was a fourth down conversion attempt. And I know it was a surprise, kind of how it all happened and the speed in which it happened, but I still think that ball should have been caught. So
Hmm.
I definitely think there were a lot of things that the Bills did or didn't do that caused them to lose that game ultimately.
No, definitely.
However, there were several controversial and, in my opinion, incorrect calls made that do impact the outcome of a game like that.
Yeah, definitely. You had the it was a couple of plays I saw. The fourth down, 4th and 1 was very controversial. You had one ref giving the first down, one ref not. So then they went with it. Then the replay, on my opinion, definitely showed that Josh Allen got that first down. I mean,
I think it's clear as day
it
that
was
he
clear as
got the
day.
first down. How do we not have the technology? I mean, we're in space, right? How do we not have the technology to put a little chip in the ball to tell us exactly where it is and where it goes?
Yeah,
I think
no.
that this season and the way that the officials have officiated Chiefs games tells me that there's no reason that we shouldn't be putting chips in those balls because the Chiefs tend to get those calls in their favor. And if we had, an indisputable piece of technology telling us and not the refs who
Hmm.
need, as LASIK likes to tell you, they need LASIK, better vision,
Yeah,
better calls.
yeah.
I don't know how we haven't progressed to that point in the NFL where we have that kind of technology. And I think now more than ever, it is necessary because of the way these games are being called.
Yeah, especially Chiefs games, like don't get me wrong, the Bills, their defense did not play up to their standard for sure. They played terrible in my opinion, the
They
Bills
allowed the
defense. They
Chiefs
made some
32
plays.
points. That was the most they scored all season.
And then also Josh Allen, I felt like he played his numbers were okay, but he didn't play well in my opinion. He's kind of stayed in the pocket too long on a lot of plays. You know, he was just trying to use his athletic ability. He was waiting too long. And then on that fourth down that you mentioned, that with Kincaid dropping that pass, Shakur was wide open on the left hand side on a little curl route, not a curl route, but it was just a little flare route to the outside. And if you relook at that, Shakur is wide open. If you throw that to him, he gets that first down automatically. So I just felt like he just kind of was just off yesterday for sure. There was
Yeah, well,
another
what
play
about
that
the
was
call? Okay, so there was
the
another call
controversial
too.
call, yeah, with James Worthy. I mean Xavier Worthy.
Xavier
That catch,
Worthy,
that
he
was
had
not a
one
catch,
hand on the ball. It's
and the
not
ball
a
was on the
catch.
ground.
You have the broadcasters, you have your rules analyst, Gene, everybody and their
Mm-hmm.
mother is telling you that's not a catch.
And they
Somehow
rule it a
they
catch.
rule that a catch.
And the Chiefs get a score off of that possession. That's big.
They
That's huge.
Yes, they got a
So,
first down off of that, and then the next play they got a redo on their
mm-hmm.
first down because they had to go back and review that pass again. So no, at no point did I hear a whistle before the play. They claimed
Yeah.
they whistled the play dead before the play, but they got a redo, so they got a second first down after they were stopped. Then they get a touchdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Travis Kelsey. Now, I am pro taunting. I think the NFL should not have a taunting rule. I think if you make the play, you should be allowed to taunt. 100%. I'm pro taunting. But
I hear
the
you.
NFL has rules against taunting. Why is
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey immune to those rules? He got up in the defender's face and
The
DeMar
face, yeah.
Hamlin's face. And then when someone else came over to defend DeMar Hamlin, when another Bills player came over, all of a sudden the flag goes up
Yeah, yeah.
for unsportsmanlike.
Uh-huh.
What the hell? How is Travis Kelsey immune to the taunting flag?
I don't know, man. Like I said, if you give the Chiefs a chance, they'll get it done. But I do think they had a lot of chances because of the refs. I mean, the Chiefs fans are not going to like the fact that I'm saying this, but I really don't care. There was a lot of big calls in that game where the refs obviously missed. Xavier Worthy's catch was definitely one of them. I feel like that was worse than the fourth down call for sure, even though I feel like Josh Allen got the first down.
Yeah.
But
I
those are
look,
just crucial plays, man, where they Chiefs capitalized on all those plays, you know.
they
So
capitalized after every single one of those controversial calls.
well, and give
I
credit
think
to Mahomes for doing so, but it's
Mahomes
just the
actually
refs.
played well yesterday.
Yes, he
And
did.
that was
Give
he
credit to him.
I did not think he's been playing well that all season, but he came into this game with a ferocity that I haven't seen all season. He was locked in yesterday.
Yeah,
You know, not for any better word, but he played like a man yesterday. And
yeah,
I don't think he really had at all this season. So credit to him because we were on him about the flops and he played solid yesterday. Spagnuolo should be a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. I know we don't put coordinators in the Hall of Fame, but
mm-hmm.
I see it. I'm gonna make that claim. I know there's other people out there that have made it, but Spagnuolo is a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, and talk about the coaching staff. Nobody's poached their coaching staff in 7 years.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Solid.
that's a solid coaching staff that they know who they are, what they want to do, and they're very,
And
very
give credit to
loyal.
Andy Reid for that as well,
They have to be
for keeping those
creating a
guys.
culture that breeds loyalty and resilience, and they're a fantastic coaching staff. And I think
Yeah,
that they win that game anyway. But yeah, there were a lot of missed calls in that game again.
definitely. And I just think the Bills, I mean, if you just look at Josh Allen, he looked depleted, man.
They didn't do
And
enough to get it
again,
done.
they didn't. And their defense, again, I'm going to speak on this because they did not tackle well. They weren't hitting well. They didn't come to hit. When Pat Mahomes was running those touchdowns and he just bumping their guys and getting in, they were not thumping him like they should have been, you know,
Yeah.
making him pay for running. Like they were just getting bullied, you know, and it's just like the same old story with the Bills, you know, unfortunately. And, you know, the Bills actually gave the Chiefs that pick to get Patrick Mahomes, which is crazy. But, you know, now it's just coming back to bite them every year.
They
They
gave him
can't get.
Xavier Worthy too.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. But now we got the Super Bowl matchup from a couple years ago. Philly versus the Chiefs.
The
Be
rematch nobody nobody but Chiefs fans and Philly fans want.
well, hey,
I'm
I'm
just
pretty
saying.
sure.
Listen, I think my biggest problem with this season is there were so many fantastic storylines all season. There were so many great players, so many great teams, so much fun stuff to follow.
Hmm.
And for the end result to be this Super Bowl matchup, I know you're a Philly fan, so for you, great, is disappointing. As a football fan, I'm disappointed that this is what we're getting. I think it's going to be a bit boring. We've been here, we've seen it. And I'm preparing myself for the three-peat because that seems to be the storyline. But I mean, I'd much rather see Saquon win his first Super Bowl after his years with
Hmm.
the Giants and his struggles with the Giants and moving over to Philly, and just seems like it's a good fit for him. He's a great leader on that team, and to me it's the more well-rounded team, but the Chiefs have a better coaching staff and everything on their side.
Yes, especially the refs. But that's just me taking a shot at the Chiefs. But no, um, I think it'll be an interesting matchup. I think it'll be a great matchup, kind of like their first matchup. It was a shootout till the end. Of course, in my opinion, that pass interference call was the worst call ever in Super Bowl history, in my opinion, which gave the Chiefs a chance to score and kick the game-winning field goal. But I think this game will be a lot different. I don't think it'll be such a high-scoring game.
I agree. A
I
defensive
think,
matchup for sure. Two of the best
yeah,
defenses in the NFL.
NFL, yeah. So I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it'll just be a game of, who's going to not turn the ball over. Who's the penalties, who's going to make the most mistakes in that game, and things like that. But I do think it will be a good matchup for sure. I know it's not. I know people are tired of seeing the Chiefs for sure. The whole Chiefs thing and the refs, and they feel like they're cheating their way to a three-peat or whatever the case may be. But it's like, whenever the refs, like I said, you got to give the Chiefs credit. Whenever the refs do give them another chance, they capitalize. It's not, they could easily he could easily turn the ball over, have interceptions, miss field goals. Their field goal kicker has been perfect all playoff.
Yeah, I mean,
Um, I think his whole playoff career actually, but so you got to give credit to them. I don't think it'll be a referee game this game. I don't think. Hopefully not. That's what I'm not hoping for. I hope there's not controversial calls like there were in the Bills game, but I do see it to be kind of a good game. But we'll see if they'll be able to three-peat or not, or if my Eagles can get it done with that number one D and Saquon running the ball.
I know you're gonna pick the Eagles in this one. Do you have a score, final score
A
prediction?
final score, I do have a final score prediction actually. I got Philly winning 24-20. That's my prediction. Philly by 4.
I mean,
Hmm.
look, I hope for everybody's sake that your Eagles are able to pull this off, but I just simply can't pick them in this one. I think for everything that we say and for all of the crap that we give the Chiefs, and specifically we give Patrick Mahomes, he is an all-time great. He has been in the
Definitely.
AFC Championship every single year of his career. He is the LeBron of the NFL. Just he has everybody's number, and we have so many great quarterbacks in the NFL right now, future Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and he's beating all of them, and he just comes up in the big moments.
Yeah,
He,
definitely.
Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, they perform on the biggest stage and they come to play in these big moments, and I can't pick against them. I think it'll be a little bit higher scoring than that. I would say, in my opinion, I think it's going to be the Chiefs, probably like maybe maybe like similar to this Bills game, like a 32-29. I think it's going to be
Hmm.
one of those kind of games. I would say that's more around where I see the score being a little bit closer to 30.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But another one score game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's actually going to be on my birthday, so
And
that'll be a hell of a
Saquon's
birthday
and
present.
Cooper DeJean's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
Saquon.
big day.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll definitely be turned that day. Looking forward to it. I mean, win, lose or draw, I'm still going to enjoy my birthday for sure. But it'll definitely be a cherry on top if the Eagles can get it done.
Yeah.
But let's talk about a few of the coaching hires. The Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones
They went in
hired
house.
yeah, hired Brian Schottenmeier, the offensive coordinator. How do you feel about that pick, and will it help or hurt the Cowboys, or is it just one of another Jerry's?
It's another Jerry
Uh,
Jones pick. It's not splashy. It's an in-house pick. It's just another person that he can puppet master and manipulate. And until Jerry Jones gets out of gets out of there, I don't think the Cowboys are going to see the success that they're hoping for. And it's sad because I mean, Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL when he's on and performing, and it feels like a waste of their
yeah,
careers, especially since they both just signed big extensions. So hopefully they can, go through another year of this and maybe eventually get somebody that's I mean, listen, not to doubt the guy, but like get somebody a real head coach.
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he was the offensive coordinator with them, but Mike McCarthy was still calling the plays. So
Exactly.
um, this is going to be his chance to, call the plays and prove doubters wrong, because he definitely has a lot of those for sure. And like you said, it was an in-house pick. Jerry and the GMs will definitely have their hands on trades and
I just
draft.
don't think it's going to be his fault that he's unsuccessful. I think he's in a
Yeah,
system where
I
he's
don't
set
think
up to
so
fail.
either. Yeah, I think so too because I think he's kind of set up to fail, which has always been the theme with the Dallas coaches. Since the '90s. Since they got rid of the Barry Switzers and the Jimmy Johnsons, things like that. But your boys, the Cincinnati Bengals, picked up Notre Dame's defensive coordinator Al Golden as their new defensive coordinator. I think that's a huge pickup for you guys. How do you feel about that?
I'm very excited about it. Look, he's been here before. He's been on the staff before. He's been in the NFL before. He's got that experience.
Hmm.
Notre Dame had a phenomenal defense, as we saw all season long. And I think he just invests in really mature, really intelligent, really unified players. And I think that
Hmm.
we're going to see some moves from him that are in alignment with that mentality. So I'm very excited because this defense really does need to come together so that we don't waste another season of
Yeah, yeah.
Joe, Jamar, and Trey Hendrickson being all stars in their respective positions and
Hmm.
not even making the playoffs. So I think this is a fantastic move for the Bengals. I'm very
I
excited
agree.
about
I
it.
agree.
And I
Huge.
can't wait to see it all get going. And he jumped right into it. He's been coaching since the summer with
Yeah,
Notre Dame. And he's like, Zach Taylor told him to take time off. And he was like, no, I'm ready to go. I'm here. I'm
yeah,
ready to go. And
yeah. He
I'm
wants to get a
really
head
excited
start
about
on
it.
that. I feel him. I feel him 100%. He's definitely probably digging in deep. I can see the Bengals going all defense this draft for sure, and just picking up a few pieces that you guys need in the linebacker area or the defensive back area, and so yeah, I see him getting to work early on that, and that's a huge pickup for you guys for sure. Definitely. Your boy Robert Sala is headed to the 49ers
Yeah.
as a DC. That's a huge pickup for those guys. How do you feel about that? Your boy. That's your boy Robert.
I love Robert Sala. I really do. I think he didn't get um, the credit
Fair
with the
shake.
Jets that
Yeah.
he should have. I think he was unceremoniously let go. I think there's so much chaos happening with the Jets, unfortunately, with
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and that situation. So it's a good
Hmm.
move, and the 49ers are going to be better for it. I mean, they didn't make the playoffs this year, and that's a
Yeah.
team that, they were riddled with injury all year, but they should be a playoff team every year. So
He's
great
got so
pickup
many
for them.
pieces to work with
He's
too.
got
Fred
so much to
Warner,
work with. Fred
one of
Warner
the
is
best
so
middle
good.
linebacker. Yeah,
Oh my
you got
God.
Nick Bosa. You got guys in the trenches. You got so many pieces to work with out there.
He has
So he's
real talent to work with and build on,
yeah,
as opposed to what he did with the Jets, which was, I think, create a really great defense. He already has a great defense. He has
yeah.
to now just put all the pieces together.
100%. Speaking of the
Yeah.
Jets, Aaron Glenn is their new head coach from Detroit. His interview, he seemed pretty stern on speaking with Aaron Rodgers and figuring out the future there with him and the rest of the team. So I do think that's a big pickup for the Jets as well. I think it'll help for sure more than it'll hurt.
Huge for
I
the
know you liked
Jets.
it this pick. I know you liked it this pickup as well for sure.
Yeah, whoever got him was going to be lucky. And, it'd be very telling in the first, couple months of his tenure what they decide to do in the draft, whether or not they
Hmm.
decide to either draft or go after a younger quarterback in
Yeah,
free agency. I think it's going to be necessary, and I think it's going to
they
make
definitely got to get a
it's
quarterback.
going to
I
make
think.
a statement to Aaron Rodgers, like, "Hey, you're on thin ice," and I think somebody needs to do that. And Aaron Glenn might actually have the tenacity to do that, coming from a
Yeah.
team like the Lions with that kind of grit. And if
Hmm.
he brings that mentality to the Jets, they've got some great
I
players,
think he will.
good pieces, so there's a lot to work with there.
Yeah. No, I definitely think he will for sure. Um, Bring the grit there, and he'll figure that out.
And Ben
I think
Johnson
they
to the
definitely,
Bears,
yeah, Ben Johnson to the
the
Bears for
Detroit
sure.
coordinators.
Yeah, he's got Caleb Williams to work with and those young receivers, Oduze and those guys. For sure, he's got some talent to work with. I still think the Bears got a lot of work to do on the defensive side of the ball, but a big pickup for the Bears as well, getting Ben Johnson. I think their offense will definitely step up this year as far as statistically. They'll get better immediately with him coordinating them boys. So
It's gonna be a
shout out to the Bears.
telling year for Caleb Williams, whether or not he turns into a bust or not, because it's undecided. I think the jury's still out on that. Now he's got a real offensive minded coach who puts together really great offensive schemes and knows how to coach. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see that.
no, definitely for sure. Um, like I said, I think that's going to be a huge, huge pickup, and like I said, it's going to be telling for Caleb Williams. Like I said, right now, Jaden Daniels is definitely QB1 of that draft for sure,
Yeah.
and probably will continue to be.
I think you might stay
But
that way for a while.
yeah, definitely. Um, let's switch the angles a little bit. There was a lot of remembering this week of Kobe and Gigi. Um, so yeah, it's been 5 years since
5 years.
the fatal passing of those two. Well, the WNBA, a few other people were remembering them this weekend as well. I think that's big and huge.
Yeah, the
Uh,
WNBA always does a really great job in remembering him. I mean, as does the NBA, but the W specifically does a fantastic job of remembering Kobe and Gigi and what Kobe brought to women's basketball. He was a
hmm
huge women's basketball supporter. Gigi was a huge UConn fan. UConn always pulls out the stops to make sure that they honor her. They've given her an honorary number 2 jersey before, and they always make sure to remember his
Yeah.
legacy. It's sad because I think about it now, and her and AZ Fudd could have been teammates at UConn,
Mm,
and
yeah.
he was an incredible girl dad. He was an incredible basketball player, an icon, a legend, and what he brought to the sport of women's basketball, me and many, many, many other people will never forget.
Definitely, for sure. Shout out to Kobe. Definitely a legend as a person, a player, for sure. He definitely shout out to him for being a Philly fan as well. He's from Philly. He's from Philly, so I'm sure he's rooting for the Eagles. But let's touch on WNBA a little bit. It was a
Yes.
big trade,
Oh
big
my
trade.
gosh. It actually happened. So there was rumors all week of this big blockbuster trade that might happen. And I told you last week with Unrivaled and the girls down there kind of being their own agents and talking to each other.
Uh-huh.
Wow, oh wow, has it delivered so far? So there is a three-way blockbuster trade in which
Mm-hmm.
the Los Angeles Sparks receive Kelsey Plum from the Vegas Aces.
Mm-hmm.
The Storm, the Seattle Storm, are getting what was previously the LA Sparks #2 draft pick this year. And the Storm are sending Jewel Lloyd to the Las Vegas Aces.
All huge.
Wow.
Huge moves.
Huge moves, huge moves. And in my opinion, a win-win-win situation.
Yeah, definitely. Why do you feel like it was win-win for everyone?
Oh, okay. Well, I think the Sparks had initially been hoping that they would get the #1 overall draft pick for this 2025 draft, in which they would have drafted Paige Beckers. She is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the #1 draft pick,
Yeah, she's a beast.
almost undoubtedly.
Yeah. No, I
And
like her at
they
UConn.
didn't get that pick. That went to Dallas. They got the #2 pick. And I think there are a lot of great young players that are going to be eligible for this 2025 draft. You have Olivia Miles, Lauren Betts, AZ Fudd, potentially. So there's some
Mm-hmm.
great players there. But what the Sparks really need, if they couldn't get Paige Beckers, is a leader. They have a lot of young talent in Rakia Jackson, in Cameron Brink. So to get Kelsey Plum in there as a winner, a veteran, a
A
leader
veteran leader, yeah.
is
Mm-hmm.
huge for them. Meanwhile,
Definitely.
the Aces getting Jewel Lloyd allows them to move Jackie Young out of the point guard position and onto the wing and just clears more space for Asia Wilson. It's a great pick for them. It's a great trade for them. And
Mm-hmm.
Jewel Lloyd is an absolute stud. So it's really
Yeah,
exciting
yeah.
for them as well. And they are a deep roster, a winning organization. It'll be great for Jewel Lloyd and great for their program. And then the Storm, getting the #2 overall
Two
pick,
pick.
allows
Yeah.
them to build. They get to continue their rebuild because they have been
Mm-hmm.
struggling since they lost Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart. They just haven't been able to find an identity. And hopefully, one of
Yeah.
these young players will be able to give them that identity and start them on that path. So, win, win, win.
No, for sure. Definitely sounds like it. Congratulations to all those girls moving on to new teams. I'm curious, who do you think they're going to take with that second pick, #2 pick?
Oh, I mean, the Storm, like I said, are still looking for an identity. I like Olivia Miles as the second pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think AZ Fudd is as good as she is injury prone. And the last thing that you want is an immediate injury. I mean, Olivia Miles has been injured as well, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think AZ has not had a full complete season in all her years playing at UConn. So I think it's just a risky pick for if you're looking for somebody to build an identity with. So I could see going
Mm-hmm.
with Olivia Miles. I could see going with Lauren Betts out of UCLA. UCLA is still the only Division I women's basketball team that's still undefeated after as of
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. So
Yeah.
she's incredible. So depending on whether or not they want to go guard or big, I think they could go one of those two ways.
One of yeah. They got room to grow for sure. Well, no, I got a couple things I want to touch on. It's kind of off the subject. Um, just a day or two ago, I'm a Buckeye fan. Our defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, he left the program and he signed with one of our rival programs, Penn State. They gave him
Bold
a
move. That's a bold move.
yeah, yeah,
Poaching. Penn
yeah,
State is making a bold move by poaching him.
yeah. But they gave him a 3-year, $3 million per year deal. He can get up to 4 million with incentives, of that nature. But I don't have a problem with the move. I just have a problem with how he did it. The Buckeyes recently just celebrated their national championship here at the stadium with the fans. They invited fans to come in the stadium. You know, the coaches and the players spoke. Jim Knowles didn't show up uh, ever since after the national championship game. Apparently, he ghosted Ryan Day and all the players. Nobody knew nothing. Ohio State was ready to give him a new contract, you know, but he never gave them a chance to match it or whatever. But I just didn't like how he didn't speak to Ryan Day, didn't speak to the president. He didn't even speak to none of the players before he left, or even to say, you know, he's leaving or anything like that. So I just don't like that move on him. He did. He went to Penn State. I mean, granted, James Franklin is a good coach, but we all know James Franklin can't win the big games. Will Jim Knowles be able to help him with that? I don't know. Penn State has always had naturally good defenses over the years. I mean, Jim Knowles can come in there. I'm sure he'll do a good job, but will that get them over the hump to beat an Ohio State, to beat Michigan, to actually get in the national championship game? That's yet to be told. My personal opinion, I don't think it will matter. Penn State is Penn State. I don't believe in their quarterback, Drew Aller. I do like their running backs that came back for their senior seasons, Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. But I just didn't like the move by Jim Knowles, the way he left. He didn't speak to none of the players. And a lot of the players had something to say about it. It was just a nasty way to leave the program right after winning a national title. Um, but yeah, no, that's my take.
Yeah.
Just Jim Knowles that's a sucker move, man. You know, you win a national title and then you don't speak to no one, you ghost everyone. And they literally found out he was going to Penn State as they were celebrating in the stadium
Yeah.
for
I
the
agree.
national
That's
championship.
some shady stuff
You
and
know, so
unfortunate because I think, for me and many athletes out there, I think more than winning, your legacy is what matters and
hmm
how your teammates and your coaches
your peers,
remember you, how
yeah,
your peers remember you. And
hmm
no matter what he does at Penn State, he'll be remembered for this and the way
yeah,
that he went about making these moves. And people will remember. And the next time that he tries to go get a coaching job, people will remember the way that he went about making this move. And so your legacy gets tainted. And that I think you could have gone about it a much better way.
definitely. I mean, you at least could have spoke to your players, and like I said, at least to Ryan Day, your coach, let him know, hey, I'm leaving. I'm not going to restructure no contract. You know, I don't know if there was like a beef there or whatever, but I'm not sure. But the way he left with the players just wasn't cool. And I'm sure come this year, November 1st, when Penn State comes to Columbus, they'll have a
Remembered.
good warm, yeah, he'll have a good warm welcome for Jim Knowles for sure. I'm sure Buckeye players, fans, coaches are looking forward to that game as well. But no, like I said, big pickup for Penn State for sure. Great pickup. He's a great coach. He's a great DC for sure. But I did not like the way he left the program. That was an unclassy move for sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, but on that note, I guess we're at the end of the show. I appreciate you always giving your insight and opinions for sure. But yeah, no, I'm your host, Big Red, and this is Tony, and we appreciate you guys listening to this He Says, She Says Sports Talk podcast. And we will be back with you guys next week for more on sports news and updates. We appreciate y'all and love and peace.